Hey, it's Sarah here. Welcome to this sequence of yoga tutorials where I'm going to go over some of the most popular poses that you're going to see in a yoga class or even an online yoga class, and just give you some tips so that you can get the most out of the pose. So today is all about Locust pose or Shalabhasana. So I'm going to go through the basic pose and a few variations. You will need a yoga mat and a blanket. So I'll give you a chance to get those and I will meet you on that. Okay, so before we get started, I just want to briefly go over why you may need a blanket. Now, not everybody will need a blanket, but you may find it useful if you are the kind of person who's got a bit of a bendy back. Now, I do have a bendy back, so the blanket will help keep your pelvis in a little bit more of a neutral position so that when you come into the back bend, you're not going to get that annoying discomfort in your lower back. So let's get started. So you want to be able to basically fold your blanket reasonably straight. I don't think I've done a really good job with this one, but it will serve its purpose. And you want it so that you can place the front of your pelvis on top of it. Okay, so we're going to come down. And the thickness of the blanket depends on you. All right, so what I suggest you do is just have a play around and see which helps you get the most comfortable pose and helps you engage the muscles that support the pose as well. So we'll start off with my favourite variation. So we're going to come down onto the floor. Now, what you might not realise about Locust pose is that we do need to use our deep core muscles. It's not just a back focused pose. You're going to be using your front body as well, so your abdominal muscles too. Another thing I don't see a lot in class is people don't use their legs enough. So you can feel a little bit top heavy. So I'm going to talk you through the basics, and hopefully with a little bit of practice you'll be able to see, you know, how empowering this pose can be when you can join all the dots together and get the right bits of your body working at the right time. So for this variation, I just want you to bring your hands here. So it's almost going to be like a mini cobra version. So the first thing I want you to do is to really connect the toenails to the floor and use that and the blanket to roll your butt cheeks down. So roll your butt cheeks down. When you do that, you're going to feel a lift in your hip points, okay? Almost as though you're going to roll a Malteser or something underneath them. Now, with those two movements, and the blanket is what helps you achieve it, but you don't need the blanket, you can do this without. Helps you to switch on your front body, okay? So when you're in Locust, I want you to imagine that your pelvis is the midpoint of a seesaw. So we're going to lift the chest, we're going to lift the legs, but the weight is on your pelvis. So and the seesaw is perfectly balanced, okay? So let's give it a go. So we're gonna do the top end first. So press your toes down, find that lift of the hip points. You're rolling your tailbone down, and then just reach your chest forward and it's gonna come off the floor. Now don't go too high. This is where we can get stuck. Keep it low so that you can still feel that action of your hips lifting in and up, the front of your belly feels switched on, and you can feel your butt cheeks working. So you're not gripping your butt cheeks, you're just rolling them down so they switch on. Now from here, I want you to start to lengthen your right toes away, and then you'll notice that your leg will lift off the floor. Now from there, I want you to roll the inner leg upwards as you lift a little bit higher, and stop when you meet a little bit of resistance, okay? From there, let's try the other side. So you're going to lengthen your left toes away, roll the inner leg up, and then lift. You should feel a lot of work in your hamstrings, your bottom, okay, the back of your shoulders. But at the same time, all the weight is on the pelvis, okay? And your lower back feels nice and long. There's no pinching going on there. All right, come down. Take a moment in crocodile, just bend the elbows, give your booty a shake from side to side. And then we'll go up. So we'll try a different arm variation along with the legs. So we're going to bring the arms out to the side this time. So with the arms, I want you, when you're lifting, as well as chest lifting, I want you to focus on the arm bones, feeling like they're moving up towards the sky. This is going to help switch on the muscles around the armpits and the upper back. This is where we want to feel the work, not at the top of the shoulders. So let's start with the top half first of all. So press the toes down, roll your butt cheeks to the floor, feel the hip points lifting and up, and then inhale the chest off the floor. Arm bones hugging up towards the sky, and then you can lift the arms up. Sometimes I like to turn the palms a little bit further forward. It just gives me a little bit more sensation. So, have a go at both, see what works. And then we'll lift up one leg by reaching the toes away, rolling the inner leg up to the sky, and then we'll take the other leg up. Keep curling the butt cheeks down. Some teachers will say roll your tailbone towards the floor. Just use one that works. Okay? Feel that seesaw, even amount of work in the front and the back, and relax down. Super job. Okay, now there are other arm variations, so I'll go through them now. So that was this is one of my favourites, to be honest. You can also come into a cactus shape. You can be in a T. You can be in a traditional Y, where the arms come forward. So, play around. Not one is better than the other, but it will give you different sensations. All right, so let's try a bit of everything and hold the pose for a bit longer. So we'll start with my favourite. So again, root down through the toes. That will help you work the legs, get them awake. Roll the butt cheeks down, the hip points off the floor. Right, lift the chest, arm bones, arms. One leg, second leg. Rolling the inner legs up towards the sky. That will help your butt cheeks do the work. And then have a go. Come into a cactus. Okay, arm bones moving towards the ceiling. Come into a T. And then come into a Y shape. Thumbs up, palms facing in. Keep connected to your butt cheeks. Keep them rolling down, keep the inner legs rolling up. Your hamstrings should be really working hard, as well as your butt, but you're not squeezing. And then lower down. Okay, so we're going to try 2 moving variations, and then we'll call it a day. There are quite a few variations out there. But I just wanted to give you a gist, because once you've got the technique right, you can basically play and do any variation that you like. So, first one is called swimming, has been called Superman as well. So we're going to start with the arms forward, set everything up. So you're rolling the tailbone down, feeling the hips lift off the floor. And then we're going to lift the arms and the legs. And then you alternatively lift one and then the other. Now again, focus on the pelvis. Keep that sense that you're rolling the tailbone down. You've got a good connection with your front body as well as the back body. Arm bones are in the socket, leg bones are in the socket. You're reaching through the fingers and the toes. Lovely. And then relax down. Another one, I don't actually know what it's called. I like to think of a skydiver, but I'm sure it's got another name. So this one we're going to bend and then straighten the legs. And we're going to move the arms into from cactus to straight, okay? So we're going to lift up. So when you're ready, remember, set up the pelvis area. Rise up. And then on the exhale, we're going to come into that skydiver shape. So you're pulling the heels towards the butt. Arms are pulling down. Elbows are pulling down. And then inhale. Come back into that traditional locust. And then exhale, pull back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull back. Right, one more time. Inhale and exhale. And then relax. Okay. Well done, guys. So from here, let's bring the arms back. Push yourself up. We're going to remove the blanket and bring ourselves back into a child's pose. We've done a lot of back bending. We want to finish with a nice easy forward fold. So think about curling the tailbone down, reaching the fingers forward. Breathe into the diaphragm, thinking about the breath expanding into the back body as well as the side body and your belly. And take one more breath here. And walk yourself up. Well done. So that was your tutorial on the basics of Shalabhasana or locust pose with a few variations. So I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I would love it if you hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll look forward to taking you through another pose on the mat soon.